Hi everybody, welcome back to Messy Vegan Baker. I'm your wonderful host, Christina. What did I want to say there? So a little backstory on today's video. So I had another one planned, except I had to order something for it, and I thought it was getting here this week, but it turns out it's not getting here until next week. So yeah, we'll make that video next week. So I kind of had to improvise because I realized yesterday, I think, or the day before that. So I had to kind of come up with something, which was actually okay. So you've probably heard of Lauren Toyota from Hot for Food because she's amazing. I love her cookbook and her videos. And she has kind of been doing this new thing of, well, she talked about it and she's doing like a series, I think, of like taking what you have in the fridge and making it into something delicious that you want to eat. So I have been doing that for a while now, kind of just like, oh, I have some, nacho cheese that I haven't used for a while and that's gonna go bad, so I should make it into something else. If you follow me on Instagram, thank you very much. Also, you have seen I posted a video of it and it's on my savory food highlights, and I made a really cool casserole essentially with it, and it was delicious. It's been really fun kind of finding things that I'm not eating in the fridge and then making it into something new and eating it that way and loving it. So I figured, why not do that today? So I have some of my cinnamon swirl pancakes, which you guys might have remembered. I made the little pancake cereals out of them, which is why there's so many little baby ones. And they have been in the fridge for a while. I haven't eaten them, so I figured why not try to make them into something new? So then I was thinking I could make a cinnamon swirl bread and crunch this up and make it a topping, and that might be really good, but I don't know, I feel like that would be too much bread, So I figured, why not make oh wait, no, I can't do that yet. Why not make bread pudding? So I'm excited about that. So that's hopefully what we're gonna make today. Because I'm not that organized today, it's gonna be interesting. Also, this recipe calls for 8 slices of bread, and I really don't feel like adding anything else to this. I kind of just want to use these up specifically. Plus, all of our bread that we have right now is edible and not stale. It's gonna work. It's not gonna be as much as this would call, which is fine. I just have to kind of try to figure out the ratios. It's gonna be interesting. They were stale, but they're also slightly chewier than I wanted them to be. So I stuck them in the oven at 200 for 30 minutes, and then now they're a little more dried out, which is what I want, because you want stale bread, and stale bread theoretically is dry. So that's what I did there. And then I'll just use vegan butter instead of regular, and some flax meal, ground up flax seeds instead of eggs. So yeah, without further ado, let's get baking. So like I said, I'm using the ingredients but gonna attempt to do a lot less because I have 4 ramekins over here. I don't even think I'm gonna need all 4. I think I might use 2, maybe 3, or it'll be a little bit in each. I'm gonna do 1 flaxseed egg. We'll get that ready. I might do 3/4 cups of milk. That might be too runny. Thinking is hard. Okay, I'm just gonna do the flaxseed egg first. Okay, so that is ready. And now I can't really figure out what the ratios are. So I feel 1 egg should be fine. 3/4 cup milk might be a little much, but it might evaporate, so we'll see. It's hard because I've never made this before, so I don't really have any experience to base it off of. So I don't really know, but that's okay. Sometimes the fun of baking is to just try random things. I'm gonna do a 1.5 tablespoons of butter, so put that in there. Then it says 1/2 cup of sugar. I'm gonna do slightly less than 1/4 cup. And then 3/4 cups raisins. So since I don't want a ton of raisins, yeah, that looks good. And then you need a pinch of salt. Yeah, we'll probably do the full amount of cinnamon because let's be real, that always seems to be under seasoned. So 1.5-ish. Oh, it's nice and gelatinous. We're gonna stick this on the stove. Also, The oven itself is preheated to 350 at the moment. So I guess I'll just go over to the stove and then melt this and stir occasionally. And then once we get back, then we get to have fun with putting it all together. So it's on medium-low heat, but everything is melted and looking dapper. So we're gonna crunch up these and kind of break them apart a little bit more. And it said you don't want it in this like too small of pieces, but assume you also don't want it in giant pieces. So I will probably actually just leave all of the baby pancakes alone because I feel like for the most part they're a pretty good size. Now that we have all of our breadcrumbs, I'm gonna stick all of this in the pot and then mix it all and then kind of distribute it into the ramekin. I'm going to mix this. I still have to add my egg. Actually, I think that's a good ratio. I mean, I'm not, totally sure. I might do a splash more of milk, but for the most part, this actually looks really good. So we're just gonna leave it. We're gonna let it soak and absorb. While that happens, I'm gonna boil some water and then get this bad boy in the oven. So I decided to go with a bigger pan only because then I know I can fill it halfway with the hot water because I feel like that's gonna be very important when it comes to getting this baked. So what I'm going to do is attempt to spoon out all of them. I don't think that was English. To evenly-ish disperse this. So I guess I'll only do 3 of these because 3 is like enough. So like I feel this one needs a little bit more custard, maybe. Okay, so these look pretty even for the most part. If you want to make your life way easier, then put it in one baking pan, but for some reason I thought this would be more fun. Gotta make sure they all look okay. Then I'm going to sprinkle on some cinnamon, sugar, and I'm also gonna do brown sugar because I feel like that's just gonna add a nice little twist, So I'm probably doing like a teaspoon of brown sugar per bowl, maybe a little more. And then we'll sprinkle on some cinnamon. And then I kind of wanted to put a little bit of butter in here, only because it might make it like more caramelized, because that's a word. But we do this with our, I guess they're technically called caramel rolls, but we do this with our cinnamon rolls. It just makes a really nice caramel. Because, we're just kind of seeing what happens with this recipe. And then we're gonna sprinkle on some other sugar. Whee! And then I might add a little bit more brown sugar just because, I don't know, I like brown sugar. It's delicious. Also, I want to make sure that the butter can kind of like caramelize with the sugar. That looks good. So I have my hot boiling water, which we're gonna pour in here. I'm gonna boil a little bit more. This is a perfect opportunity for a picture. Okay, so a little more of boiling water, because he said you want it about halfway up. I don't know, the water distorts it, so I can't really tell, but I think it's about halfway. So now we're gonna throw it in the oven, which is preheated, and this one says 45 to 60 minutes. Okay, so until a knife comes out clean. Since these are smaller, I think they're gonna bake a little faster. I guess I'm just gonna check on them like every 10 minutes and just kind of see how that goes. In the oven it goes, and I will see you guys after that. These finally came out of the oven. They look pretty good. I probably could have taken them out like a few minutes earlier, but that's okay. I ended up baking them for about 37 minutes. I think because they're, in smaller ramekins. But yeah, they look really good. I'm excited about this. Also, halfway through, I thought about it and I realized that I could have cooked them in the Instant Pot. If you've watched some of my other videos, I have one where I bake cupcakes in an air fryer in an Instant Pot, except I could never get them to fully cook in the Instant Pot, and I realized I'm pretty sure you have to put water in there, and I just didn't know that at the time. So I think that's why, and I was like, man, it would have been so much fun to cook this in the Instant Pot, but next time. I think they look amazing. I'm pretty sure they're how it's supposed to be, where it's still like a little pudding-ish, gelatinized dish. That's a gross word. I'm pretty sure it's also not actually a word. We're gonna try one of these. I'm just gonna do the middle one. Looks really good. Ooh. Look at that. Hot. I don't know. On one hand, I think the texture and stuff is amazing, I just also feel like it should have been way sweeter. Yeah, I think there just almost isn't enough sugar in it, so that is something I will make a note of. I mean, I think the texture's spot on. Like, I think I got the ratios pretty solid, which is very exciting. What I'll probably end up doing is putting like a butt ton of butter and sugar and cinnamon, and then maybe caramelizing it a little bit, and then it'll make everything taste really sweet, and then I will eat these. Overall, today was a success. The fact that it's bread pudding essentially still is really impressive, in my opinion. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot. So I don't know if I'll put the recipe down below. Maybe I'll just put like about what I did. Maybe. Yeah, I guess I'll just kind of say about what I did so you can make these if you want. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, I forgot to say this. If you like what you saw and you have not yet subscribed because you're new, welcome. If you want, you could hit that subscribe button. And also, do you guys like these kind of videos where I don't really have measurements and what I'm making and just kind of try to make something new? Let me know. I will have my blog linked below if you want to find some fun things to bake. I like to think I have some fun recipes on there. And if you haven't already, you should follow me on Instagram. I will put my Instagram handle, that's what it's called, Instagram handle down below. I hope you guys learned something and or were entertained. And stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.